Alright, what's going on, folks? Mr. Brunsvold here. Today we're doing an antacid lab. Now, what is an antacid? An antacid is one of these little tablets that you might take if you ever have like heartburn or if you have like acid reflux. So what is heartburn? Heartburn is when your stomach acid in your stomach comes up your esophagus and it sort of like burns your chest area. And so it feels sort of like your heart's burning. Your heart's actually fine. It's your esophagus that's burning, the tube that goes from your mouth down to your stomach. And so what people do is they take one of these antacids to neutralize their stomach acid. And so what we're going to be doing today is testing 4 different kinds of antacids. Our first one is going to be Tums. And we're going to try to determine which antacid works the best when it comes to neutralizing stomach acid. So we're going to start off with one of these Tums right here. And I'm going to put that in this mortar and pestle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it up inside the mortar and pestle. So you can see I've kind of started to ground it up, and now I'm going to really get into a fine powder. Okay, so now that I've ground it up well, what I'm going to do is dump some onto a piece of paper on this scale. So let me get a piece of paper real quick here. Okay. So I'm going to zero my scale so that it reads 0 with the piece of paper on it. And then I'm going to try to dump as much of this powder as I can onto the piece of paper. Okay, and so you can see I got about 1.2 grams, give or take. So you can write that down for trial 1. That we got Tums is our our brand of antacid, and we have 1.2 grams of Tums. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Tums and I'm going to add it to this solution here, or add it to this Erlenmeyer flask. I'll use it to make a solution. Whoops. Pick it up like this. Okay, good. So then I've added it there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this graduated cylinder and I'm going to fill it up to 50 milliliters, so right here. And I'm going to fill it up with the stomach acid that's in this container right here. Got a little bit too much. Perfect. Now you can see I'm right at about 50. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 50 milliliters of stomach acid and I'm going to dump it into my solution, or dump it into my antacid here. And I'm going to try to mix it up as best as I can. Good. So you see it sort of makes this milky white solution. What's happening there is my antacid tablet is reacting with the acid that's in there. It's neutralizing it. Okay. So now I'm going to take phenolphthalein. Remember, this is my indicator. It indicates when the solution goes from acidic to basic. I'm going to put a couple drops of phenolphthalein in there to indicate when the solution is going to change colors. Okay. And now I'm going to start adding drops of NaOH dropwise. So your job is going to be to count how many drops of NaOH I add. So you can see some pink starts to form, but then once I swirl, that pink goes away. So we're going to keep adding NaOH until the pink doesn't go away. Pink's starting to stay a long time, so I'm going to start adding less NaOH in between when I stir. It's getting close. And I think that's the color change right there. We can kind of see that the whole solution is pink right now. It's very, very light pink. It might be kind of tough to tell on camera, but I can see the color change. So count how many drops I dropped in there for this experiment, and then go ahead and record that on your sheet. Then to calculate the drops per gram, you're going to take your number of drops and divide it by the mass. So the mass for this one I think was 1.2, so take the number of drops and you're going to divide by 1.2.